Oh, John, I'm so in love with him. They're perfect. We're going to buy a house together and then we're going to have some babies and it's going to be happily ever after. 6 months later, I get the call. John, I hate him. He's so messy. He doesn't pay his bills on time. He is the worst. What do I do? And at that point, it's probably too late. So if you're thinking about purchasing a home with a boyfriend, girlfriend, there's some questions you should probably think about before you head into that whole entire endeavor and get yourself all sideways. So I'm going to kind of just break some of these things down for you. Thing number one, you got to just make sure that you're both ready to do this, that this is indeed the best step for your relationship. You understand things about each other like credit, how they've paid bills in the past, what their goals are, aspirations. Have a little bit of communication here. This is not a 12-month lease that you can just get out of. This is a mortgage that could potentially be with you for the next 30 years. So those decisions, while personal, there are probably some right and wrong paths, but you definitely want to understand what their credit's like, how they pay goals, what they want to do, their goals and desires out of this particular home. And just make sure that if you're buying the home, it's a smart decision if you're buying it together. It's also a smart decision if you are buying it as two people purchasing a home as an investment. Next, you need to decide who's going to be on the mortgage. Are you both going to be on it? Is one of you going to be on it? Whatever. There's different scenarios there where it may or may not make sense to both go on the loan, for one of you to go on the loan, one on the loan and only on title. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. And again, there's not a right way. There's only probably the best way for you and your situation. That moves on to the title piece. There's a lot of different ways that you can own a property. You can own it together jointly to where it will carry on to your family. You can own it together jointly to where when one person dies, the other one takes full ownership. There's a variety of different ways that you get to decide prior to even purchasing the home, how you will own the property and what happens to it if you were, let's say, to die. The next suggestion that I would really highly encourage people to do, put some type of agreement in place. Planning out, if the relationship ends, here's what the buyout is. Here's what this looks like. So you don't put these agreements in place with the assumption, you don't put it in place where everything goes right. The agreement only becomes useful when things go sideways. And unfortunately, a lot of things go sideways these days. And we head into things not clearly. So putting everything in writing up front. So again, you have a clear path of what's going on and you're planning, you're provisioning for the what ifs that happen in life. Because we are all full of a lot of different what ifs. What if this? What if that? And again, if you go back to open communication, transparency, shared goals, common vision, how do you pay bills, credit scores, who's on the loan? All of these questions need to be asked. And next, just some really good, just best practices. Set up a joint account between both of you that is only used for paying the bills. And decide at the beginning of it how much people put into each one and do a review of it. If the payment's $2,000 and let's say it's $500 for some other miscellaneous things, each of you are going to put in $1,250, or one's going to put in $1,000 and one's going to put in $2,000, whatever it is. A joint bank account, very specifically who puts the money in and where. And then from there, make sure that that account covers things like trash, lawn maintenance, setting aside money to fix the furnace when it goes out. So you just want to have very clear expectations. And very rarely have I seen people that plan these things well have a lot of problems. It's the ones that don't that get the, oh shit, the surprises, the I got you moments. So planning ahead, what's difficult today is easier tomorrow and down the road. So you can have the difficult decisions today and have a very successful home ownership journey, or you can skip the tough conversations today and probably have a very lumpy home ownership journey. So those are my things. And what I would really encourage you to do, if you are in that situation, you're thinking about buying a house, come check us out. Like, I'm happy to answer any questions, help you out in any way, shape, or form, but just make sure that you're talking to somebody. And if they don't bring up things like, how would you like to title the property? They don't explain why having different people on the loan or not on the loan makes sense. If they're not hitting these things, Either is that they don't really care about seeing you have a successful homeownership journey, or maybe they just haven't done it enough times. They haven't had enough people call them crying that they're breaking up to really care yet. So either way, we'd love to help you, point you down the path, and just make sure that you've got somebody that understands all of the nuances of purchasing a home with your boyfriend and or girlfriend or your significant other or whoever you're going to buy it with. But understand all those things going in. The more you know in the beginning, the easier it will be in the end. That's it.